Yes, I am.
But are you really ready? Because I can start this stream at any time. Look out! The stream is beginning!
No!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Temple War Weekly. My name is Mike Fadum. I'm also known as Ambassador Cal. I am your community manager. And this is, I don't know, who are you?
It's a good question, Mike.
It's a good question. One that we all have to answer deep down within our own selves.
Mm-hmm. So that's not where I thought the stream was going. But hi, everybody. My name is Jet. I'm a systems designer here on Star Trek Online and have been for a few years now.
Thomas in chat says, Thomas, if you want to come up here and scream on stream with us, you totally can. Hello, everyone. So we are here to talk about ships. Place your bets now whether the building will lose power, the building will lose internet, or just one of us will explode before the stream is over. Because we have not successfully managed to do this once yet. For some reason, these technical problems seem to only happen on Wednesdays at 4:30 when we're talking about ships. Let's see what happens.
Say the word numbers and the internet's going to die.
No!
So, numbers. Survey says it's still working. I think. Mike, don't do that. You're scaring people.
All right. RTK142 says his money is on the ships catching someone's hair on fire. That makes some sense.
Yeah, because the engine trails zoom really close past your head.
It's true.
It's true. No, like, if you watch.
You know what the best part about this new haircut is?
What?
We're 5 minutes into the stream and nobody's mentioned my hair disappearing because it's not anymore. I don't have to hear that joke again.
Not getting the color green is good. I considered that once, and then I decided against it, and then I saw your hair, and I felt like that was a really good decision.
It was a good choice.
Even though I wasn't thinking about green screens and green hair. And
Duncan Idaho wants to congratulate you on your Commander win from the stream this weekend.
Oh, yeah, thanks. That was a lot of fun, and it was for a good cause.
Yes,
so
we raised over $12,000, which...
Thank you so much to everyone who donated again.
Yes, thank you very much.
Very much appreciated.
You're all amazing.
By the people at Extra Life.
Yes.
Running that.
SFC 100 says, "Wow, is that a new hair?" Yes. This one's new. Just that one.
They moved it from this side of his head.
No, then it wouldn't be new. Then it'd just be recycled, Jet.
It's new there.
So Navy 3000 has I saw a bit of a conversation before we went live. Was peppering the chat with questions that he knows we can't answer. But we'll just mention once again, because we usually have to mention about once a stream. We don't talk about upcoming content on this stream unless it's approved to talk about on the stream because, well, upcoming content changes a lot. Y'all noticed how different what we're doing right now is from what the roadmap said we'd be doing right now. That's because stuff changes a lot in game development, and we never really want to promise something or talk about something before it's ready for prime time.
So, I'm not announcing the Tier 8 Millennium Falcon? Sorry.
Well, that's the stream, everybody. Yes, we're releasing it in conjunction with that movie that's coming out next week.
So, what ships are we going to look at, Mike?
We are going to look at... did the thing finish? Okay, cool. Here, I actually have specific advice I want to talk to you about. But first, let's look at some fan art while this game boots up.
Let's do that, Mike.
Let's do that, Jet.
So, fan art.
No, just start the game. Fan art. Fan art. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, we've got a bunch of images. Duncan sent us everything he drew for Extra Life this weekend, which is great. So this is Duncan attempting to settle the dinosaur debate once and for all. And he's right, that duck is a very good dinosaur. If you ever fought a duck, don't. They're dinosaurs. Geese too. This is his thank you image of a tardigrade wizard with a botleth and a sword riding a space whale with two Santa elves in the back. And I'm sure all of that made sense if you watched all of Extra Life this year. Unfortunately, I did not.
I also didn't.
Meanwhile, here's a Tercel-class shuttle. I like your ship design aesthetics, Duncan, and I think we should incorporate them into the game. Thomas, get up here and make this into a real ship. Speaking of things that should be real in the game...
I just have to assume this was from D&D?
No, I think this was actually based on the headwear. I think this was from John's game. I need to go talk to him about what happened to that game. I know they fought professional wrestlers from the 1980s.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a super serial game, but I guess not. Meanwhile, baby tardigrade wizard looks on. Oh, I see. He's recreating the Baby Yoda pose with Baby Tardigrade Wizard.
I see.
Meanwhile, this is Justice Goldsmith, the union leader from Chantel's game on Saturday, as was played by yours truly, meeting Baby Tardigrade Wizard. There's a theme to these. I think Duncan had Baby Tardigrade Wizards on the brain, and I think this is a very sad Gem Hadar for Rene Auberginois, which that dear, yeah. Also, Jamie Barron sent us this awesome poster that he had made from screenshots from in the game of his Jem'Hadar fleet, which was also signed by Renee and Terry Farrell. That's awesome.
Yeah, sweet. That's awesome.
And Mar Hawkman sent us a frame-at-a-time advertisement for Q's Winter Wonderland, so I'm going to try and do my best voice for this. Tired of the boring wasteland? Come to Q's Winter Wonderland! Beautiful scenery. Exciting activities. And more. Well done, Mark. Also, he sent us this lovely shot from the memorial that players held on Sunday night. And apparently the Fakiri's basket just stayed on him. Which is...
That's neat.
That's a costume we should sell for the Winter Wonderland. Just run around with the basket on.
Write it down for next year.
Yep. And finally, Rurin Fane sent us... Apparently, a lens flare shot of the Kelvin. Or the USS Gulenborsti?
That's not the Kelvin. That's the Kelvin Constitution.
Your mom's the Kelvin Constitution.
I don't think so.
Yeah. All right.
Although if you asked my mother, she would definitely tell you that I tested her a lot. I was a problem child.
All right, here we go. Now we can see the game. Okay, so I played a playtest of something earlier. Can't say what the playtest was, except that it was super fun. And I'm very excited for people to experience that as part of the anniversary. But I flew around in your D4. Oh God, get me out of here. This was from the stream. Boy.
You have to leave combat to beam up, which you should do any second now because you're not being shot at.
Yeah, let me just run over here. Okay, beaming out. So I played your D4X build, and there was a bunch of pilot powers that I hadn't played with before, even though this ship that I fly is a pilot spec ship. And I ended up eventually having the ability, I don't know how much of that is the D4X and how much of that is the pilot stuff, to turn on a dime,
you
go...
pressed the lock trajectory
No,
button.
I wasn't using lock trajectory. That was the thing that was crazy, because I know lock trajectory, and I use that all the time. There was some sort of turn speed boost that I got that shot me suddenly into these crazy turns, and it was great. So...
Okay, so I will start with the disclaimer. The ship you're referencing is one I built 3.5 years ago and might not have updated in the past 2 years. But so
I had to build the stations because they were lost. So.
Okay, so I definitely don't remember what it's using at all. Other than I'm pretty sure that's on the Klingon character, one of the Klingon characters I built. So I'm pretty sure it's using disruptor cannons.
That sounds right.
But
all right, so I'm gonna look at pilot abilities.
If you go, pro tip for space: if you look at lieutenant commander rank abilities, you can always see all of the total abilities. That's the commander rank, Mike. There you go. So the reason is because in space, all of our abilities are either start in space or on ground, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
it may have been attack pattern lambda. No, that wasn't it. It was. I feel like it was this, but that doesn't do that.
It's definitely.
It might have been fly.
Might have been fly her apart. That goes. That ramps
goes
up.
Like Schnell.
I mean, I generally don't use German words to describe things, but yeah.
Well, I only got 2 pilot slots on this thing as opposed to a full pilot ship. So what could I put in addition to lock trajectory that would be helpful? Maybe it was pilot team because I did have 2 pilot teams on that ship.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Probably
Let's
one of
try
those.
it.
It's also a D4X using pilot spec, so it just would have naturally
would have
turned
been
on a
very
dime.
super fast, yeah.
And I might have been ridiculous and put emergency powered engines and auxiliary powered dampeners on it.
Well, again, none of your powers were on it. All the bridge officer abilities were wiped out, so I just picked some stuff that looked cool before the playtest started. So,
neat.
Yeah. But say I was gonna... Let's maybe look at traits first. Say I was gonna make that... Try and make it really fast-moving, turn on a dime so I can always make my front facing the enemy. Which sort of things should I be looking for here?
Well, I would slot the Helmsman personal trait. It's from an old lockbox, so I'm just going to say the Infinity.
Okay.
There
it
you
is.
go. Yay.
All right, I will slot it, but I can't because I have to remove something. All right, talk me through this, Jet. What should I be removing?
Can you show me what the bottom middle trait is off the top? Because I don't remember that one. I would unslot that trait for Helmsman trait because I recognize the other 8.
Okay.
And I remember that one. You can drag and drop onto things, or you can click and unclick.
Weird. All right.
But you can't drag them off. I've never tried that.
All right.
Anyway, so that one gives you evasive maneuvers faster, which is awesome, and then it just always makes you turn faster, which is also cool.
Neat.
Beyond that, you have a few other traits that improve speed. I think the Cannon R&D trait at 15, whose name I don't recall.
Cannon training?
So Cannon training is a trait that everyone has. There's a trait you unlock from hitting level 15 in all of the different R&D schools.
Oh, okay.
I think the Cannon one increases turn rate when you use Cannon special abilities, but I couldn't remember what it's called, and maybe chat does.
I don't think I'm close to...
Well, then...
Cannon R&D 15 yet.
We are not there yet, so you won't see it.
Nope. But that's good to know, and I'll start another task.
Yeah.
No. Oh, we're still doing stuff? Or
yeah,
do I have to...
you need to collect them from the in progress. You can slot up to 3 of the same ones at a time, right?
3 of the same ones?
Yeah.
No, I did not know that.
So, now you know. So this isn't the way it was at launch, and that may have been where you heard it from.
No, I just sort of assumed you could only do 1 at a time.
Yeah, so the research, I think, are the only ones that are limited in the number you can slot at a time, and you can do up to 3 of the same ones.
Yeah.
This is going completely off of memory, but that's how I do most things, and I'm usually pretty good.
Okay, so apparently there's something called Deft Cannoneer that Chat is saying I should grab.
That sounds like the trait I'm referencing.
Okay, and that's from... Okay, so that's from...
I think, again, I'm not positive.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. All right. Well...
So?
Cool. What else should I be looking at for this ship? I know you and Cthulhu both helped me build this up at some point before. Oh, that's right. I was going to go get pilot teams.
So if you really like turning, there is a series of consoles that you can craft specially through the engineering R&D once you hit 15, or you can buy off the exchange.
Okay, let's buy them off the exchange.
They're called conductive RCS accelerators, and so they're basically a full turn modifier, like a full RCS console, which is the engineering turn console. Plus, they have a special bonus that I think, if I remember correctly, those give you crit chance when you heal yourself. And then they also have a mod. And the expensive mod is, of course, the conductive RCS with the turn mod. But you can also find them with other ones that are not as expensive because people are generally making those trying for the turn ones.
Cool. Catherine Lynn SWG. Please remember the 2 following things for the rest of this stream. 1, this is a video game. And 2, not everybody knows everything about this video game and every little detail about it. And screaming at me in chat the fact that I didn't know what the level 15 Cannon R&D trait is. When look at all of the different systems in our game to keep track of. Please don't scream at me. It's not helping anybody. All right, so we are running to the exchange now to pick up some consoles and a training manual for pilot teams. That's bank. That's the exchange. All right, so pilot teams 2.
So, we're on DCS9. Instead of buying this off the exchange and it's pilot team singular, you should go talk to Roxy, because I guarantee you the price on the exchange for a training manual is
way bigger
significantly more than Roxy will charge you.
Okay, where's Roxy?
Roxy is in Ops.
Copy that.
Where Roxy always never was.
Never used Roxy for that, so I didn't know.
So, for those of you who don't know, which is probably a lot of people, but definitely not some of the ones listening, Commander Roxy was the person you talked to for the Omega reputation back before it was a reputation and the whole fancy system that we have now. And you're just like, hey, Roxy, I have these things that I got from doing the Borg special task forces. Give me Borg gear. And Roxy did that and a few other things. And then we introduced the reputation system, and Roxy stopped doing nearly as much.
Must be fun.
And so when we did the Deep Space Nine revamp last year, I want to say, we moved Roxy down to the Ops Center. You can just discard
just
the
a
lockboxes.
moment.
We moved Roxy down to the Ops Center to be the first bridge officer trainer on Deep Space Nine. So that's a little bit of game history for those of you that.
Yeah, I remember people
newer
saying,
at the
where the
game.
heck is Roxy going to go?
Yeah.
And then us saying, oh, well, we'll just put her down in Ops.
Because she had her custom room there up on the main floor. It was nice.
Oh, my God.
I used to hang out there long after the room stopped having any real purpose.
All right, so let's go now to, I believe it was Thrak who had my...
You bought the manual, right?
I did buy the manual.
Okay, I must have just missed that as I was talking about the old days to chat.
Let's see. Sorry, I need to find stations. Who is actually in my pilot stations? Chagrin. Okay. Skills. To pay the bills.
It's right there, Mike. I know me pointing isn't useful to everyone else, but
No.
you're the one person I can meaningfully point at the screen for.
All right, so that is now set. So now if I go open to space, he'll have that, and I'll have bonus turn rate.
So, the bridge officer has that ability.
Yes.
You set it as the default ability. If you want the bridge officer to have that, you need to go to your stations tab and either reset the officer to defaults or select it as their current ability.
Sorry, what? Say that again?
You need to go to the stations tab of your ship and either reset the officer to default
I see.
or select the ability yourself.
Got it. I will select the ability myself. Okay, cool. All right.
So, I think you were going to run to the exchange next because you
That
wanted to look at
was,
some
because I
consoles.
was to get some consoles that you were going to tell me about. I'm just trying to figure out why chat keeps scrolling up. Okay, we're fine. Everything's fine. Stop panicking, Jet.
Yes, Mike, I will stop panicking. Thank you. I am calm now. I am in my happy place.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I like Deep Space Nine, but my happy places are the older social hubs.
I like the new DS9 a lot.
I do really enjoy the Deep Space Nine. That comment is not meant to say anything negative about it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
It's just
also need to visit the doctor real bad.
Yeah. I just don't have the years of experience hanging out on new Deep Space Nine to think back fondly to yet.
Yeah. All right. So what consoles am I looking for
So
here?
the words I was saying are conductive RCS accelerator.
What if I just searched RCS? Will that get me there?
It will find you the base one.
Okay. So I need
If you
conductive
conductive
RCS. Don't pronounce that out loud. The typo I just
Also,
made.
you'll want to search it under the ship console engineering section to get better results.
Ship console engineering.
Yeah. I learned yesterday after playing this game for literally thousands of hours you can double click it to search there.
Oh.
But you have to either double click it or hit the search button.
Got it.
Anyway,
Okay, so now should I just buy these at
So
a
you
lower
want-
mark quality to get and then upgrade them, or
You want one that's ultraviolet because that
Okay.
way it comes with its special mod and you don't have to upgrade it and hope to get lucky.
okay? So
So
this
you
one,
can- so you can go to the quality search and be like, show me only the ones that are ultra rare.
ultra rare.
Because the epic ones are probably money.
Okay, so now what special trait am I looking for?
So, if it's not too expensive for you, and you appear to have a large number of energy
I do,
credits,
in fact, have a large number.
I
of
would
credits.
suggest searching for one of the ones with the turn modifier.
Okay, will it just say turn on here, or
It would just be
192?
open bracket, turn, close bracket.
Okay, so then let me.
There's probably nothing else in the engineering console that has that mod, so you can probably just safely search that, but
It won't do that because
it doesn't do that because there's
try
more characters in there.
Hey,
Stop.
here we go. Oh wow, 18 million. All right.
We should talk to someone to get commas showing up in that energy credits total at the bottom, but I think
Yeah.
that's 600 million.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine. I just, should I just buy the highest quality one then?
Well, do you feel like spending dilithium on upgrades or energy credits on upgrades, Mike? It's
I'm
up to
spending
you.
energy credits on upgrades, Jet.
Well, then
Do I just need one, or do I need like
you
five?
can
of
only
these?
equip one, so I wouldn't
Great.
buy more.
Great. All right. What would you suggest I replace, madam?
So I would not replace the dynamic power redistributor module, which is the top left.
I've got a lot of active powers on here that I could probably take off. Domino I should keep. Disruption pulse emitter. What's that? That's my cone damage guy. I like him. I can take... Well, that's actually giving me turn rate, so if that's what we're trying to build, I should keep that. And I should keep that. Graviton Displacer is useful and nice.
Someone trolled me so much the other day with that console, and I know it wasn't trolling, but I was just really mad. I was flying infected space, as, you know, one does in this game, and they took the nanite spheres and they flew them like 100 kilometers, and I'm definitely exaggerating, away from the gateway, and I was really annoyed because I was flying a really good ship. Like, I could have just been like, boom, dead, gone, and like, haha, no!
To unequip you, I have to move you down here, and then move this up here.
The other suggestion I think I am legally obligated to make, Mike,
to do the tactical stuff down here.
Is that you slot 4 Spire tactical consoles,
but
yes.
I have all this stuff that I use that's good. Okay, the Voth phase decoy isn't good. I've used that twice, and it's not good.
Thanks, Mike.
I mean, maybe it's great, and I'm using it wrong.
No.
But
it's not the world's greatest console.
Okay.
That was.
But like computer-assisted flight algorithms is great, and I love it. Domino, everyone screams at you to take. I'm not entirely sure what it does, but subspace jumper. My God, it's the coolest, most fun thing in the world.
Then let's go back a second and let's read over Domino.
Okay.
Because I can
explain it to me. Explain to me what Domino means.
And also to everyone else in chat. So for 10 to 30 seconds based on...
Apparently the stream audio is significantly desynced from the video, which shouldn't be happening, but let me double check that there's not a delay on here. There is no delay set on there. Is there any delay set on the audio? There's no delay set on the audio here. I'm not sure why that's happening, folks, and I apologize.
Is there a delay on the video? Is that a thing you can do?
That's a good question. That is a thing you can do, but there's no delay set.
Okay. Do we have the desync audio button clicked? Because I know that just happens with
Is that a thing?
Things. It's probably not a thing.
No, there's nothing set like that.
I've gotten quite a number... Like, there's...
I am going to switch the microphone, though, to the better microphone. I don't know why it forgot about the Yeti.
I don't know. Maybe that'll...
Hope we didn't just lose all sound. Oh, people say it's good now.
Is this the Yeti? This thing here?
That is the Yeti.
Okay. I would have called it the Blue, but it's probably not Blue.
Blue is the company name. Yeti is the type of microphone they made.
Yeti. I was hearing Eddie like Ed, and Eddie, and I was more confused about this.
This is Eddie, my best friend. He's also a microphone.
I was just going to roll with it. So, I think I was going to explain why
it's a Domino. Explain to me Domino.
So, for those of you who don't know, the Domino is from last year's anniversary ship, the Andorian Interceptor, I want to say. Pilot Interceptor, I think. Anyway, so what this console does is it gives you a passive boost to phaser damage and accuracy, and the buff to phaser damage is nice, because a lot of the recommended weapons out there at the moment are phaser weapons, so that's some good synergies. But the active is the really powerful part and what justifies it. And so for between 10 and 30 seconds, depending on how many people you kill during the active, you get bonuses to all damage, which is a Cat 2 buff, as players like to call it. Your bridge officer abilities recharge faster, and your torpedoes recharge faster, and you get a significant buff to weapon haste. And the buffs to weapon, like firing cycle speed, are very close to a real damage multiplier.
Okay.
And the additional buff to all damage on top of that is really substantial. Okay. Especially compared to what you can get.
So is this something I should be using while I'm using, not Scatter Volley, but the other one, to make that fire even faster? Or is that something I should be using in between activating my, my powers?
So... the general philosophy on buff management from a mathematical point of view is that if you have two buffs that stack differently, you want to use them at the same time.
Okay.
So if you have a buff to firing cycle haste, you want to stack that with a buff to damage because it maximizes their effectiveness.
Okay.
To break this down into super simple numbers, I have one thing that says double your damage and a different thing that says double your damage, and they both last 10 seconds, and I can have them up half the time.
Okay.
My options are, I can have them up in sequence so that they don't stack and I'm doing 2 times the damage all the time, or I can activate them at the same time. and I have 10 seconds where I do 4 times the damage, and 10 seconds where I do normal damage. And that
sounds preferable.
And that scenario is better because I'm averaging 2.5 times the normal damage instead of just 2.
Okay.
And so this is the general reason you want to, for example, activate literally any kind of buff is good with cannons, with any weapon firing ability, because those stack in a different stat group from everything else.
Okay.
And that alone is generally just enough. But then you'll come across like firing cycle you want to stack with damage bonuses, you want to stack critical hit with anything you can. Just from a mathematical standpoint.
Okay. So, I'm looking at chat right now, and Augmented Dictator Games has showed up to yell at me like he always does. And this time he's yelling. He logged in just to see this console that we just put on the ship and started telling us we're dumb. So you put this console on my ship because I was talking about wanting to get real good turn rate, but now please explain to me why it's a bad idea to have this console on my ship.
If you don't like free turn rate, this console is a bad idea. Strictly speaking, it's not free turn rate. It comes at the opportunity cost of a different console you could put in that slot, such as one that more directly increases your damage.
Got it.
And for ships that don't need turn rate or can get their turn rate from somewhere else, then it's just not doing anything for you, and you should put something else there.
Got it.
But if you want turn rate, plus 100% flight turn rate from a console that also does other stuff is one of the most slot efficient things you can possibly do.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Qthula says, listen to that still small voice asking, wouldn't it be nice if we could re-engineer these?
So, one of the broader topics that touches on is Stow is a game with an incredibly large number of parts. I will be right back.
Thank you. I know you love me, Augie. I just think I'm wrong about everything.
So as I was saying, Stow is a game with an incredibly large number of parts, and as you were mentioning earlier, it's difficult to remember all of them. That's my trick, is I definitely don't. I just try and remember the ones that I just worked on or that I see all the time. And so there are trade-offs for almost any action you can take. If you slot some warp core over another, you're trading off set bonuses for different passive stats, for example, or with consoles, you're missing out on potential set bonuses to get different stats. And there are definitely cases of strictly better. For example, the conductive RCS accelerator is a strict upgrade from the normal RCS accelerator that gives the same buff to turn rate, because this does literally that plus other good things. But most cases in Stow, when you get into looking at like real endgame items, aren't cases of you should use this over this because it's strictly better. It's you should use this over this because the extra turn rate probably isn't as good for you as more buff to damage.
Got it.
And
okay, so let's take a look at this, and let's take a look at this from the perspective of I should have all 4 of these slots be Spire tactical consoles. That would mean that I would need to get rid of 3 consoles that I'm currently using. What would be your recommendation of the things that I'm not getting the most use out of? Honestly, as much as I like my disruption. So I like the disruption pulse emitter in a 1-2 combo with the graviton displacer. I don't know if that's actually doing what it feels like it's doing, but it feels like I pull everything together, I activate the pulse, and everything dies. But I don't know if that's just how it feels or if that's actually happening with those 2 things together.
The broad philosophy of activate an ability that says everything go to this point in space and then fire AoEs into that is a very popular one among people, especially building science ships.
Okay. This is not a science ship,
This is not a science ship. A lot of the buffs that you, playing a tactical captain, have will buff these, even though they're not, strictly speaking, exotic damage bonuses, and you get a good pile of synergy.
Okay.
So the question that I would distill like the broader picture down to is, how do I decide which consoles I want? Is what, absent all of its consoles, does your ship need to do better for you to feel comfortable flying it, and what things do you enjoy having it do?
Okay.
For example, and then some of the consoles get easier to slot than others. The Protomatter Field Projector is a powerful console if one of the things you think your ship isn't doing well enough is surviving, because it's really good at buffing your survivability. If you don't think that's a problem, it's not doing very much for you.
But I probably wouldn't need both the protomatter thing and the dynamic power redistributor.
So, as a game designer, I don't like the DPRM, as peers call it, the dynamic power redistributor module, because the odds are your ship either needs more survivability or more damage, and this console is really good at making your ship do both of those with minimal downside and at a very high effectiveness rate. So, as a player, it's a really good console to have equipped, and as a designer, I just have qualms about the fact that there's almost no reason not to want to slot it.
So between the dynamic power distributor and the protomatter, it sounds like you'd be leaning towards take out the protomatter.
I think the protomatter is a strictly better survivability console, but the 40% bonus damage on the DPRM is significant enough to outweigh that in most cases.
Okay. So we'll take that off for now, and then we'll try some Qs when we're done with this build and see how badly I die.
Yeah. For similar reasons, Domino is an incredibly slot-efficient console in terms of pure damage buffs, but it doesn't offer anything that isn't pure damage.
Okay.
It would be my first or second pick outside of like tactical consoles as far as slot this if you want your ship to do more damage.
But my ship already does real good damage?
That doesn't mean it can't. That's actually not necessarily where that's going.
Okay.
You have 6 non-tactical console slots on your build. If you want to focus at least 2 of those on more damage, which isn't a bad idea, that would be one of the consoles I would keep.
Okay. Now I feel. Tell me if I'm wrong here. I really like using not graviton displacer, although, well, maybe graviton displacer can go. It came with this ship, and it's a lot of fun. The thing that's great about it is an ISA. When it works, I can fly up to the healing spheres and just tow them out of there, 100%, and then it's really useful. But I don't know if it's as useful as... Because Subspace Jumper and computer-assisted flight algorithms together is really good. I don't know how common of a build that is, and chat's probably yelling at me that it's not that great right now, but popping up behind somebody and popping computer-assisted flight algorithms and just wrecking their face and seeing computer-assisted recharge right back up and then wrecking additional faces is great.
So there's a couple of things to touch on about that. One of them is math is really good at solving numbers problems. Math is really a lot more difficult to solve problems the farther they get away from pure numbers. And things that involve positioning your ship and how fun it feels to fly are questions that are much more abstract from numbers than which of these consoles gives my ship more damage. People that focus on pure numbers are going to tell you answers that purely return pure numbers a lot.
Qthula says, balance fun against DPS against survivability. The social triangle.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, since I feel fairly married to everything else that's on this ship, and I'm going to keep Domino for now because I know it's good, why don't I just go buy 2 tactical consoles from the exchange? I know they won't be as good as the Spire consoles, guys, but I can't get the Spire consoles right now, as far as I know.
I think you were just standing at the exchange.
I was, in fact, just standing at the exchange. I thought I was in a different room.
Yeah. Okay.
So what tactical consoles should I be looking like? F4 here.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, I think your ship uses phaser damage.
It does indeed use phaser damage.
So I would look for the... I don't remember what the console's called because I haven't used these in so long. If you search the word phaser in ship tactical console, you will find it. You probably want to search in the not ultra rare section, although you do also just have money.
I do have a lot of money. Let's search in the epic section.
You will probably get ripped off.
Yeah. All right. So let's just
not as badly as I was thinking. So when I'm setting up a new ship, I buy the Mark 11 rare tactical consoles because they cost 20,000 energy credits, and I don't care. If you don't care about 10 million energy credits, then maybe the Mark 15 golds are the ones for you.
I think I'm just going to buy 2 of these at the cheapest ones.
And so it seems like those are the ones for you.
Are those... Did I not just buy the wrong things?
No.
Oh, okay.
You bought the best version of that console that currently exists, unless I horribly misread things.
We'll see if chat starts yelling at us in a second.
It is just that you and I have different budget for consoles that you and I are going to replace later.
I don't use that. I should take that off and find a better device. What device should I be looking for, Jet?
My instinctive go-to device is always A, unequipping the Nimbus Pirates because you can use those from your inventory, and B...
You can?
Yes.
Oh, neat.
All of our distress calls can be used from inventory, except for fleet support, because that, isn't an item. I would slot the subspace field modulator, which
Okay,
I would hope you got.
that?
It is a mission replay item.
Okay, I don't have it.
Okay, past that, I like a varied assortment of crafted batteries, the red matter capacitor, non-crafted batteries, and what have you.
Okay.
Deuterium surplus is nice if you like to go fast.
All right,
I'm going to assume you don't have that, but it's actually really quick to get the first one, and you're welcome, chat. Once you get the first one, you can now craft the rest.
Okay, so Deuterium, where do I get that?
So there is a mission called, I think it's Alheima System Patrol. It's
it's a
literally
patrol.
You have to go to the Beta Quadrant and fly to the area.
All right, let's do it. What's in the Beta Quadrant that I can transwarp to?
Well, I think there's a Beta Quadrant transwarp.
You lie.
Okay, I saw a Beta Quadrant transwarp the last time I transwarped, but I also don't try and transwarp from the ground.
Hey, folks, I don't accept friend requests on stream just so I don't get swarmed with them.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
You turned down my request on my dev account on stream with that exact same comment, and that was when I knew you were serious and also didn't recognize it, but...
Duncan, Idaho, this EC did not come from Magic Dev Powers. I did not in any way type in chat commands and get EC. I just don't buy things and have done a lot of stuff. Okay.
Trezana Station is in the Beta Quadrant and is near where we're going.
Okay,
Just as far as transwarps are
let's
concerned.
do it. What?
So you have
A bunch
presumably
of those.
from the lockbox
Yeah, I have a bunch of those.
the beam from transwarp, which is why this UI is showing up at all on ground. That makes sense.
Okay, so let me go up to space and... Well, I probably have a lot of them. Let me just...
You have 24.
How do you... Oh, okay, I have 24. Let's go.
And I'm pretty sure
D. Reuter, a bunch of people are saying the sound sync is off. You might fix it. It might be fixed by refreshing the stream. We had some people saying earlier it was off and then it was back.
Have you tried turning your Twitch tab off and on again?
Hi, Rami. Sorry we didn't show off any of your art, but like I emailed you, you didn't... I mean, none of your art was downloadable, so I couldn't...
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, she sent me a bunch of Imager links, and for some reason Imager wasn't letting me download them.
So I had forgotten that placed you on the ground map of Drillana Station, or I
so-
might not have recommended
Yeah,
you
so that
transport
actually
that.
was a bit... That's fine.
No, actually not because of the loading screens.
I
but-
just flew through that guy's ship perfectly, like right through the... That was great.
And in our franchise, that doesn't blow you up.
Yeah.
So, if you open the sector map,
Open the
there
secret.
is... I forget where in the system, but I'm pretty sure it's in the bottom center corner.
Okay, what's the name of it? What's the name of it?
It's that one.
Alhina?
Yeah.
Off we go.
I used to go here a lot to get deuterium surplus. And again, for those of you watching that didn't know, A, you can do this mission to get them. B, you can now craft them through the engineering R&D school after playing this mission once.
But first you must play this mission once.
But you must play this mission once.
Space Warzone? There's so much that I don't know in this game.
So
Ah!
we have an incoming distress signal.
Alright, we'll do a defense contract.
So what's basically going on is that
Oh, wait. No. I don't want to
this
work in a
guy
new phase.
owns a deuterium refining place. And people are trying to sneak in. I forget if it's blow it up or steal it.
Okay.
But then you warp in.
And blow them up?
Yeah, because you have a contract with him, and he lets you refuel, and then also gives you them. So you gotta keep the tanks alive, or you get slightly less from the mission. Actually, like 75% less, but slightly.
Oh, this is an old mission. You can tell by the maps.
Well, yeah, it's old.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna go fight some dudes for
Yeah.
deuterium. Did I take off subspace jumper? Where'd it go?
You moved where it said on your ship, so
Oh.
it might have...
It did. It did move. All right, that's fine.
Get him!
Just come out and
Get him!
activate all the things.
It doesn't look that
See,
much.
that's what I was looking for. Okay, so it was pilot teams. Look at how satisfying that is. Just every time I pass this guy, just nope, I'm facing him again. And then I can whoop. That is very nice. That feels good. So, Jet, talk to me about how I should be flying this ship, since,
So, my first tip is, if I am not in combat, I am going at full impulse to close at the nearest target, or I'm sitting in the area where I know the target's going to spawn.
Okay.
Because, fun fact, if you're not shooting at something, you are literally dealing 0 damage in that particular second. It sounds really obvious, but this is one of the reasons maneuverability is such a key aspect, especially in queues like Infected Space, where on the high end you are spending a large portion of time not shooting things because you're killing everything so fast.
So you must be constantly finding new targets to shoot.
Yeah. So a lot of good builds in, well, especially advanced versions of queues, have a really high focus on maneuverability because you kill the thing and you need to move to the next thing. And you get a lot more effective returns out of moving to the next thing faster at a certain point rather than shooting it faster.
Got it. Oh boy, that guy's face needs work.
So I picked perhaps not the most shining recent content to show off on stream.
That's all right. And cloak and uncloak.
So another thing is cloak won't give you the ambush bonus unless you've cloaked for multiple seconds.
Oh, that is a thing I did not know.
Yeah. I gathered as much, and so I thought that was a good opportunity to teach you and anyone else watching who doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's very good to know.
So I haven't looked up how long it is recently, but what I recall being told before I worked here, when I also played this game and flew ships that cloaked, it was around 3 seconds, and I think that's the correct number.
Got it.
But it's in that range.
Jet, question from AT-AT Assault 47. Very cold in space is not currently benefiting from plus exotic damage or plus bonus exotic damage. Is that intentional or a bug?
I don't know. I am guessing it's a bug, but I didn't work on any of the winter event related things that weren't the starship.
Okay.
And so that'd be a great question for Jeremy.
Well, we will have to bug him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have transported deuterium on board.
Mm-hmm. Now, you could also collect the loot drops in this map before warping out, but maybe that's one of those things that only us poor people do, Mike.
Every time it's like batteries and stuff.
And it's 100 energy credits I didn't have beforehand.
I suppose that's true.
Shift R, okay, you do know, good, is a default shortcut for full impulse.
Yeah, I knew that. Look at that turn rate. Oh God, yes. It's just that slide that I like so much. All right.
Then you should fly a slower ship.
No.
That has inertia, so your ship just slides for 18 years after you stop turning. I remember I was at my desk showing off some ship console I just built. It's probably out now, but I don't even remember what it is. And I flew up to the test dummies on Starbase 234, and I stopped 20 kilometers away, and I slid 10 kilometers past them, and Jim was like, you should fly a different ship. And I'm like, I like it.
Augie wanted to know what my turn rate in space is right now.
Well,
so
in sector space, it's going to be wildly different, I think.
Okay, so did I now get that thing?
So you have... That is now a consumable that's in your inventory. It is... So if you click on your device slots on your ship, it'll show you the devices you can equip, and it's probably going to show up there.
Okay, so I have 4 of them.
Mm-hmm. And you can craft more through the engineering R&D school.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. And activating it is essentially another copy of evasive maneuvers, except it's not evasive maneuvers for anything that cares about evasive maneuvers specifically.
All right. So we have put together, not that build, this build for my shooty, stealthy ship. Let us now jump into a queue and see how we do. I'm not going to do random because I know there's a chance we'll get a ground queue, and that won't help with what we're doing. So, Infected the Conduit is ISA, right?
Well, it's ISN. If you select Advanced, it's ISA. Because... But yes.
Pedantry!
Well, I'm just trying to be helpful. ISA is Infected Space Advanced, or Infected the Conduit Advanced for...
Cthulhu says, put me in the Vokuv with A2 dampeners, EPTE, EPTB, reset evasive thingy, conducive RCS with turn, all turrets, def cannoneer, and counter command engines.
But all turrets boats don't need the turn rate bonuses, Cthulhu. They look derpier if you do that, because my goodness, I've done that. But the point of turrets is so that you don't have to turn.
All right, let's look at this turn rate.
It's at the bottom. There's a movement section.
Yeah. Turn rate is 0.
I would start moving. Oh, no, sorry. You are currently in the hold volume, where, yes, that's accurate.
That is true. Yep, that's a thing.
That's what's going on.
So let's cloak up. Okay, we are out of the hold volume. My turn rate is 95.
Neat. It's pretty fast.
It's not great, is it?
No, that's pretty fast.
Oh my god, that cube is gone before I can even target it.
Mm-hmm.
Did some players from the stream join in on this?
You didn't give them enough of a warning to do that, I
You'd think, but...
I mean, I could always be wrong.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Most of the runs I'm in, actually, every run I'm in, there's someone doing 100k. Most of the runs I'm in, there's somebody else doing 100-something-k. And that's probably just what happened to you.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know. I like to think I'm decent at this game sometimes.
Just sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, we're melting some faces. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it looks like they've taken out the left side while I was melting faces. So let's look for the nanite spheres. I won't. My assistance will not be necessary in taking out these nanite spheres.
Yeah.
Good. Well done, everyone.
So, one of the techniques that, and this one is one that requires more practice to get good at. Intermediary commentary.
This time it worked.
Yeah, I would have just used every movement ability to jump to the right side I could, even though you couldn't use full impulse. One of the more advanced level plays, because I remarked earlier, anytime you're not shooting at something, you're doing no damage.
Right.
There's a point in time at which you can tell, if I turn and start flying away from this enemy now, it's going to die before I leave range. And that's one of the less obvious ways of spending more time on your actual target is and it varies a lot by the target. I don't know, the Borg tactical cubes in Hive Onslaught. I just assume I'm going to shoot at those until they're at 1%.
Yeah.
But a sphere, it's 10%. I'll just turn and try to start shooting at something else. Because it'll be in range for another second or two and it'll die. And that's a thing that requires a lot of practice and knowing your ship. And also, especially in something like the initial spawn of Infected is how good is my team currently doing at killing things? Because that also matters. Because you warp into that run and someone warps in and their Juggernaut and does 500k and it just instantly melts.
And then you go, well, I guess we're okay then.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mino Dan says, "Hey Jet, are there any plans to look at the command space abilities? Needs of the many or subspace interception sound interesting on paper, but feel a bit disappointing. Long cooldowns, etc."
I think I will say, we've had some discussions over the past couple of months, and one of the things we've agreed upon is that command abilities probably could use a look to get a little better. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I know it's been something we've been saying we want to do for a while, so it's probably going to happen.
Yeah. Blake Cassad, I didn't see your tweet, but I would like to know more about that bug. Can you provide some more information? Let's see. All right, I did 3.03 million damage that run, as opposed to our top damager, which was Stu, who did 20.86 million.
So
Good
somebody
job,
from
Stu.
chat wasn't there.
Yeah. It's a good guy who sends us fan art all the time, too. He's great.
Was there a DPS number attached to that?
Yes, 20.02k. 21.02k. As
Not
opposed to Stu's 134.75k.
Also, not bad.
No, very good, in fact. All right, well, since we've done that, and we've looked at this ship a lot on a bunch of different streams, I want to hop over to a different character and a different ship that I'm very interested in making good.
Oh, no.
And one that's I know is very good, or has potential to be very, very wildly different. Not the Bajoran Interceptor. That's the one that he's been flying, because I know that. But
okay.
Looks like a lot of people from chat were.
So that's what happened.
Yeah. People are saying get Jet regular video series. What do you think we're doing, son? All right, I'm going to go switch ships here.
Yeah, I walked up to Mike yesterday and I was like, hey, Mike, so you got any plans for this live stream tomorrow? Mike's like, no. I'm like, do you want to do like one of those like stream and talk about stuff that we've been saying we should do? And he's like, sure. And so now I'm sitting here.
Nope, not acquire ships. And it was good, and we're glad you're here.
Well, thanks.
Like I said yesterday, I'm really glad that you're interested in coming by these things more often. Here we go. The USS Vengeance. Okay.
This is one of the more popular ships in our game.
Yes.
I think I would say. Certainly there's a...
So we're going to see what I put in my account bank and whether anything in here could be useful for this. This looks like it's mostly lockboxes. And there's nothing in my character bank. So I may have to go buy some stuff to get this guy looking good. But let's start with talking about the Vengeance in general. Now, this build that is on this ship right now is terrible. I know that because it's just random crap that was assigned to the ship.
I have seen worse builds, and I have seen a number of them.
There's a torpedo and a cannon next to 3 beams. Like,
okay,
but I've got the tactical consoles.
You put 4 tactical consoles in, and oh, thank goodness, they actually all buff your weapons. Like, relatively speaking, I've seen worse. You filled all your console slots. Like, I gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. All right, so where do we start? It looks like I picked disruptor damage for this. So my Federation ship is running disruptor damage, and my Klingon ship is running phaser damage because reasons. I assume this particular baby should be a beam ship because she's slow and plotting and generally all that stuff.
Yeah, the Vengeance Intel Dreadnought can equip dual cannons, and Dreadnought cruisers have always been one of those class types where can equip dual cannons is more of a dare than a suggestion. You know? That's about how I would put it.
Okay.
So yeah, I would suggest...
Somebody said my builds are subverting expectations.
That's a nice way of putting it, yeah.
All right. So, okay. So if we're keeping beams, keeping disruptors, it looks like I tried to put some sort of set here. Yeah, I put some Aegis things on this.
So my question for you, Mike, is Captain Moneypants, does this character have the ship? If I say the ship I released earlier this year, would you slap me? No, the Miracle Worker flight deck cruiser, the Fed one, because you obviously don't have the KDF one.
I don't believe he does, no.
Okay, so an easy way to find out is if you go to the Dilithium store.
Oh, going to the Dilithium store.
And if you look at the special items section at the top, and you notice that you probably don't see the advanced disruptor beam arrays on here. I forget what exactly they're called.
I don't see them, no.
Pretty sure you would have seen them by now, but they might be all the way at the bottom. Anyway. So my next suggestion...
The advanced ones are the really, really good ones, yeah.
My next suggestion
is... the Disco Connie, right.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, we can mention that ship.
No. Fine. It's not that I couldn't mention it. That's just not what I think of the ship as by default, because I'm like, backtracking, all right, the ship that has the special disruptors I built this year, okay, it's the Miracle Worker flight deck cruiser, and then I stopped there. So my next guess...
Just quickly to answer a question, Ronnie Jackson Jr. said, what is the Muds Market? I can answer that really quick by showing you guys. Muds Market is a new thing that we brought in recently. It's a lot of older items that weren't available anymore. I swear they're not stolen. I swear they're not stolen. That's amazing. Jared did a really great job adapting the text on these. But there are places where you can buy random items. It looks like the Command Assault Cruiser, the Vizier class, is on sale for 2,100 Zen right now, which is a great deal. There will be sales like this in this store, but they will not be advertised. They just happen. So you gotta just keep checking back on it to see what's on sale. So like the It's About Time pack is on sale for 1,200 Zen right now.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike. So I don't pay the most attention to our sales, I'll admit, but I think 85% is a larger amount than we traditionally see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I should need to go to the exchange. Yes, is that what it was saying?
So the question I would have is, do you have the X4 pack? Because if you do, then you can claim the Cardassian Galler and outfit your ship with spiral wave disruptors, which would be...
believe I do.
...my next suggestion for weapons to use if you want to use disruptor beams.
All right, so let's go to ships and tier 6, Cardassian, the Galler, you said?
So I don't recall where the reclaim for this ship is. The Galler is a tier 5 ship.
Okay, so maybe I don't have it then. I do have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so claim it?
Yeah. And if you haven't claimed the ship on this character, it will grant you 4 spiral wave disruptor beam arrays when you open it.
Okay.
And
I have to open it from my inventory first, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
And there are 4, and you can purchase more through the place in the Dilithium store we just went looking at.
All right, so let's put these guys on at least the front for now, and then we'll purchase. Hi, Rami.
You can at least replace that phaser turret, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, so let's go buy what? Can they go in the back?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go buy 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these.
They are beam arrays. They go anywhere.
Anywhere?
Okay, no, they're beam arrays. They go in fore or aft weapon slots because someone's gonna.
Anywhere? Are you sure they're not? They're not in like. Oh, reclaim.
Okay.
Oh, I do not have enough dilithium for that.
Huh. Do you have refined dilithium on one of your other characters?
I probably do. I probably have it. I have a bunch on my main. Let me switch up real quick and send it to myself. Bye, Rami.
I hope you load into a different instance.
AT Assault 47 says if we want a tank for the next run, let him know. I'll be happy to.
I appreciate people who tank in our game.
People are yelling at me to keep the phaser turret. Also, beams are now experimental weapons.
So, if you want to transfer dilithium... So, spiral wave disruptors are character-bound items, unless I'm horribly mistaken. If you want to transfer refined dilithium to one of your characters...
I need to go someplace.
You don't need to go anywhere.
Oh!
And this is why I was talking about it. If you go to the dilithium exchange...
Okay.
Which you can access through your inventory. And I'll be right back.
All right. Dilithium exchange.
Yeah. So, just put an offer up for a large number of Zen at like 25 dilithium per Zen.
Okay.
It's probably not going to get filled, and if it did, then, well, it's your lucky day anyway. So just...
Okay.
So I just type in the amount of dilithium I have on this character.
Okay, well, I don't know that I want to send all of the dilithium I have on this character, but...
Sure. Well, you could also hit the refine button while you're there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, let's do that.
Yeah.
Woo! All right, so let's send, I don't know, 80,000.
So you're typing... You want to buy 80,000 Zen is what that would mean, which is probably not accurate.
Okay, so I want to actually go down here?
Yeah, and the total dilithium to sell.
Okay.
And so you just submit that offer.
Okay.
And then you go log in on your other character.
All right. Someone's saying, I don't understand why we can't just transfer over the dilithium without having to go through this. I think you're absolutely right, and it's probably a conversation I'll have with the systems team later on. I'm sure there's some economy reason, but...
I brought up recently the concept of adding the option to the account bank of transferring dilithium.
Uh-huh.
And so then from what you want to do to finish this is cancel the offer.
Okay,
how do I do slightly up from your mouse is the cancel offer button.
Canceling offer.
And then you can withdraw it.
Oh, neat.
And this only works on refined dilithium for obvious reasons of, well, we have a refinement limit for them.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, to the dill store. To the reclaim area. Where did they go? Spiral wave disruptor.
Right there.
Okay. Beam arrays are the ones I want?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Bye. I'm not going to have enough dilithium to do this. I should have transferred more dilithium. Whatever, we'll just deal with this for now. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to replace this and this. And at least it'll be all beam arrays. There'll be a little rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, just while I have you on the subject of beams,
mm-hmm.
Your Mark 14 beams are probably better than Mark 10 spiral wave disruptors. Okay. I would say almost certainly.
Okay, well then let's put them back.
Yeah. The other comment I would make is there's the ones with the infinity symbol.
Yeah.
You can right-click those and upgrade to make them... You have to unequip them from a starship because you're on a ground map to do that.
Okay. I have to get rid of some stuff then.
Yeah, I would start by getting rid of that Mark 10 common starship gear, but it's just my take on it. I clearly don't know what you want. Well, you can't salvage that because it came on a starship, and if we let you salvage the stuff that came for free on your starship...
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
That would be bad. And if I watched you salvage it, I would go run screaming and tell Keith. Keith!
Keith!
Mike just live streamed an exploit. Thankfully, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't.
And I'm not going to do that.
Oh my god, there's so much white gear.
Open the recycle tab. Just do me the replicator tab.
Okay.
And scroll down a little bit and you'll find them.
Yep, and just do it this way.
Yeah, because then you don't have to click to confirm.
And I get stuff for it, yeah.
You still don't.
Oh, no,
that would also be a problem.
That would be a problem.
This came on your ship for free. You get nothing.
You lose. Good day, sir. Okay.
So, anyway, so that's probably enough inventory space for now.
All right. What were we doing?
So you were going to unequip those 4 weapons and then throw them in the upgrade system. I would double-click these to unequip. But
that's way better.
Yeah. And anyway, I hope people listening to the stream... So if you just throw it in the upgrade window, it gets better.
Oh,
if you don't have any upgrades, and I certainly wouldn't throw green quality ones at them, that's fine. But if you throw them in the upgrade window, they convert from being level-less to being...
leveled.
Leveled.
Okay, let's do that then.
I think you can double-click with this window open.
Yep.
And then you can close that window and double-click them again. I hope some people listening are picking up on the shortcuts of how to do stuff in this game, because there's a lot of them that you learn.
Yeah. Let's see. For T6 ships that are commissioned at earlier ranks, do the weapons rank up with the player, or do they have to be upgraded separately? So scaling ships.
All Tier 6 ships, I believe, now come with level-less weapons, which means they scale with the level of the player, and it should just be good to go. There's a couple of things we were trying to streamline with that process was everything involved in, I ranked up, let me go to the ship selector, commission a new ship, move all of my gear, buy new gear because Mark IV is better than Mark II, replace all the bridge officer stations, and... we felt that you not having to throw your items in the upgrade window, every single one of them, every single 10 levels, was another good idea to keep that going, so level-less items it was.
All right, so let's look at devices now. Well, we should look at I picked the Aegis set, and I picked the full Aegis set, which means that I probably bought it, and that somebody probably told me to do this. So why did I do this?
Because the visuals are really nice.
Okay.
Also, it's one of the few sets in our game that you can just buy off the exchange.
That might have been why.
Most of the rest of our sets are from reputations or story missions, which take time and or dilithium to complete.
Got it.
And the Aegis set is not a bad set by any stretch. It's...
okay.
There are often reasons to use other sets.
Okay.
I'm assuming...
What does the Aegis set do? Why would you equip it?
Nostalgia... So I say this...
Jen is trying so hard to be nice, and the waves of this set is bad are just coming off her in waves.
That's not what I'm trying to say, strictly speaking. I would say I think there are almost always better sets to equip than the Aegis set, and I, as such, have not looked at it in a while to remember what it does and answer that question well.
Got it. Okay, so let's skip this stuff. I do frequently
look at it for the visual set because, alphabetically speaking, it's our first piece of gear that has visuals or close to it.
Got it. All right, let's look at devices. I've only got weapon, engine, shields, and weapons batteries, so just shield batteries all the way down?
So I would slot 4 different batteries.
Okay.
And the reason for this is that if you slot 4 different shield batteries, you're going to be disappointed because they will put each other on the same 2-minute cooldown. And it's the same as you only using 1 device slot.
Got it. All right. So then let's move to
and batteries within themselves will share a cooldown, but not the full-length cooldown, and at least this way you've got options.
You can tell I haven't played this character much.
Unlike with Starship Traits, where you don't have options.
Yeah, I've got no reputations and no... Okay, so we'll have to work on this character some other ways. If you're wondering how this character got to 61 with no reputations and no Starship Traits, that was dev magic. I needed to test something. And so, unfortunately, my Fed character had to get super leveled real fast. But, all right, so let's take a look at the traits we've got for space and see what we want to put together for this ship. Now, tell me a little bit about how this... Okay, canon trading, obviously no. Tell me a little bit about this ship and what you should be thinking. I should be thinking about while flying it.
So, in broad terms, the Kelvin Intel Dreadnought Cruiser is a good example of what Dreadnought Cruisers are in our game. It's a big, slow ship that can do a lot of damage, especially for being a slow ship.
Okay.
And so, broadly speaking, depending on how more specific you want to do with the ship and which of those two things you want to lead into, I would either slot traits that make the ship do more damage or be more of a big, tanky, slow thing.
Okay, so context for kings sounds like a tanky thing, maybe?
Context for kings is a contextual trait. It will either give you damage or damage resistance based on how much you're getting shot or not.
Okay.
I thought it was a neat trait when I built it, and people seem to have liked it, but any review I give of it is going to be clouded by the fact that A, I work here and it's a monetized trait, so some slight bias there, and B, I made it, so I kind of just am going to generally like those things.
That makes sense.
That being said, I won't give you the best reviews about the Warp Core, even though I made that, so, you know.
Oh, there you go. All right, so based on what we have, which isn't much, I don't think we need flight speed on this guy.
Bold take for a ship I just described as slow, but possibly not a
No, you're
one.
right. You're right. We can use flight speed. That's a good point.
Yeah. Fleet Coordinator, by the way, is a really funny trait for me.
Yeah?
I slot it all the time on live and literally never for our live streams because it is only good if you're consistently in teams of 5. And on live, I'm always playing queues in space, so I'm always in a team of 5 and it's great. And whenever I make a build for one of your live streams, I know it's just going to be you by yourself. And
patrols.
I slot a different trait because it does nothing. So I would definitely slot that trait now, is what I'm saying.
Augie says that you're being humble and context is for kings is used on most high-end builds, so there you go. All right, well, let's try and take this guy into some battle. It's not going to go as well as the other one.
Mike.
Yes.
So I was mentioning you should slot Fleet Coordinator, and you still didn't do it, so can you do me a favor and do that one?
Yeah. Sorry. You're okay. My bad.
Yeah. It's better than, say, the Accurate trait, which is the top left one that you have slotted there, so you can just, like...
Kill that. Go away. And
it's also better than the Elusive trait, but that's a defensive trait.
Yeah, this guy's going to be tanky. All right, so before we go, stations. Ooh, yes, let's take a look at this. All right, so this is actually set up... Well, that's actually okay. We don't need the torpedo stuff on Skong, though. So what does he have anything I can switch it out with?
Given that this character has absolutely nothing to work off of, I would be inclined to fall back to the uber default build, which is take the abilities you want and just run 2 copies of them.
Okay.
Which means I would replace the beam overload with an attack pattern beta if you can. And you can. Sweet.
Hooray! And then over here we've got more flight speed, more healing. Structural integrity field, is that better than boarding party, or would boarding party be better in this case, and why?
I'm just going to let chat tell you how much better every single engineering ability is than boarding party, because I'm sure that's what chat's about to tell you.
Okay, great. And then science team 1, we want that for the shield heals. Cool. It's a good so this actually is not a bad station setup.
That's not too bad.
We don't have anything.
Considering that you have 0 duty officers or starship traits from which to provide a potential.
So this is going to be the last one. I'm going to dive into the Kobayashi Maru. Sweet. So I have to go after this.
Yeah.
Someone says switch that universal to science. Okay, let's do that. Oops. Stations. Which universal to science?
I think they mean the Lieutenant Commander Universal, and I think I would disagree with them for a build that has no traits and no duty officers.
Just more damage is better at that point.
Because you don't have a cooldown reduction method for those 3 bridge officer abilities, duplicating, I think, is going to give you better results than running a science ability there.
Yeah.
We'll let other people in chat weigh in on that opinion.
Cthulhu says don't do it as well, so we're gonna leave that one then.
I feel good when Cthulhu seconds my recommendations for stuff.
And Duncan Idaho says boarding party is great because it's a party and space needs more fun.
Okay. So I'm reminded, if you go to Risa, and I think you can still do this with the summer event not active, there is a duty officer that gives you, I think, emergency power to party, I want to say, is the name of what it does. And it makes emergency power to engines a party in space. And I'm just going to send this recommendation out there. Everyone should do it if you like parties in space.
Yeah.
Emergency power to party.
All right. Sounds good.
Also, I wanted to...
Cthulhu says he feels good when you recommend his recommendations, so...
Haha!
It's a circle! It's a snake eating its own tail!
No, this is a good thing, Mike.
That's
a bad thing.
Let's see. All right. Kobayashi Maru is taking forever to load. Why are you guys not in Kobayashi Maru with me?
Come on, chat. I expected better from you.
Yeah, board disconnected just takes forever. I don't know. We should do something quicker. Ah, there we go.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. Ronnie Jackson Jr., I'm not sure what the question, do tier 6 chips have a different warp scale means. They do go faster in sector space, generally.
So, warp speed in sector space is entirely determined by your warp core, unless you have quantum slipstream drive active.
Got it.
There are, of course, other ways to buff the speed your warp core goes at, but those generally aren't tied to a ship.
Bye, everyone. I was going to go jump on Q with the party and see if they would join me, but...
Yeah.
Duncan said, don't think chat yet because he thinks he's in this one. Understood, lady with...
Duncan is in this one.
All right, let's do this.
You can tell because it says Duncan Idaho on the left.
And I've got some twinsies. Did everybody come in their vengeances? I love you all.
I bet they did that intentionally.
Oh, yeah.
Good for those people.
Good for those people. We're gonna wreak some vengeance here today.
Shout out to Donnie, who remastered the skin a while back and did an amazing job with that.
I need to try out some shield.
I'm mentioning this because I remember being on the live stream as he was talking about it, and so I'm confident it's out.
Yes. Well, you didn't hear about the bug the first time, right? There was some sort of height slider on it.
I think I definitely remember that one.
Yeah, and so it was like double the size but only if you put the new skin on it.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't as bad as the Zenkethi Escort. Which I don't
that
know
was
if you remember
hilarious.
that one,
I do remember that one.
But I seem to recall it dwarfed Deep Space Nine.
It did. It was wonderful. Oops, I flew way too far away, and this ship is very slow.
Yeah. So, this
Fire
being
everything.
one of those cruiser variants, you have two cruiser commands conveniently located right beneath your weapons that you can just toggle on. And once you toggle them on, you can forget about them for the rest of the map, and they'll stay on.
All right, great. What do they do?
So, the one you toggled on first is called Weapon System Efficiency, I think. It's the weapons aura, that's how I remember it, and it gives you and teammates within 10 kilometers of you a reduction to the amount of weapons power drained by firing your weapons.
Oh, nice.
The one you have toggled on now is, I'm pretty sure, Attract Fire. Again, I call it the threat one, because I care more about what the stuff does than what it's named.
Called, for sure.
And the name that I get to work with is not always the one it shows up to players as, and that one gives you a bonus to the threat that you generate, and decreases the threat that allies within... I want to say it's 10 kilometers of you generate.
It's interesting because I'm so used to flying ships that, I don't want to get shot. To switch to a ship that's like, please shoot me. Please shoot me. Warning, artillery coming. Exit area immediately.
Yeah, so that blue circle is one I would stay out of is what that means.
Yeah, I gathered that.
Yeah. Again, maybe people in the chat haven't played this queue, or maybe they played it and didn't know what that meant. If you've fought the Vaudoir, you're probably more familiar with the blue circle means artillery means leave, but maybe you're not.
Maybe you're not. I did like the mini contact warning though.
Maybe this also explains why you died so much fighting the Vaudoir. I don't know. But yeah, mini contact warnings for that kind of stuff are neat. That's why that's part of why I added it to the Borg Queen and Hive Onslaught a while back of, hey, feedback pulse is going to kill you, please stop shooting at her. That change seemed to go over well, so I was glad about that.
So there is one problem with this build that we've put together here, Jed.
Is your ship not moving, Mike?
No, my ship's moving great. Well, great is the relative term, but no, it's more that yellow is my least favorite color. And these spiral wave beams are very yellow. But that's okay, because they've got the power, and the power is what we need.
So here's my theory for you, person with 8 billion energy credits. I'm pretty sure the Discovery D7 Miracle Worker beam arrays are green.
Oh, okay.
And also y'all just lost.
Okay. We lost? Oh, the Kobayashi Maru blew up.
Well, you didn't lose. It just ended because you met the end condition.
Okay, which is... Yeah.
You're just not going to take a reward? Like, dang.
What?
You collapsed it. You didn't pick it.
My bad. All right, this guy doesn't have anything yet, so we'll start with Omega Rewards. All right, cool. Well, Jet, thank you very much. That was super educational, and I really appreciate you being on board.
Happy to be here, Mike.
Yeah, we should do this again all the time.
We should.
Yeah. Now, if you guys have ships that you want us to look at, Let us know. I'm not sure how we would do looking at a player ship on the stream.
I just assume we wouldn't do it on live.
Yeah.
You can be like, this is your character. Haha, I have it now. And do it on the
true.
local shard.
That's true. Or, if you don't mind sending us your stuff, we can technically pull the container and look at your ship. You just won't have any of the changes we do, so you'll have to follow along at home. That's probably not the best plan. We'll figure it out. Anyway, if you have ships you want us to look at, if you have specific advice, let us know. There's all kinds of good ways to contact us, but maybe I'll set up an official thread in the forums of, Jet's ship build requests. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Jet, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
And I will see you all in the future.
Future.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.